Cory Booker. We're still over here clapping, wiping the tears away, okay, because that was a long time, and no, I couldn't just listen to it for the whole over 25 hours, right? But what I did do, obviously, I saw a little bit of the beginning and definitely saw the ending, and the entire time, though, I made sure it was on the television, okay, as long as possible, because, you know, Wilbur, he needed his movies, and he was live on the clock, he was live on the gram, and I just wanted to make sure he was getting the clicks and the views with PBS and MSNBC. Don't forget, you got Google at your fingertips, right? And so what Cory did for me, and I know maybe I'm not the only one that feels this way, he gave me a little bit of hope. You know, we talked about toxic hope after November 5th, and before November 5th, we had gained so much momentum with hope, right? What Cory did for me was give me hope. What he did for me was light the spark to say, finally, someone is standing fuck up and speaking. He stood up there for 25 hours. He did that for us. Right? And then if you pay attention to the people on we say the left, the Dems, the independents, whatever, anything that's opposite, right? Like he said, it's not about red and blue, it's about red and blue, it's about right and wrong. It's not about right and left, it's about right and wrong, okay? And you can Google it at your fingertips, Common Sense hats on. And, you know, it just was one of those things where we think to ourselves how we felt like they weren't doing enough for us. Right? You got AOC and Bernie Sanders. Granted, Bernie's white. Okay, we got a point coming, and they're out there doing the Fight the Oligarchy tour. Right? And we got Jasmine Crockett and Maxwell Frost. I'm proud of him. He's from Florida here. Right? Did the stage walk out at the SODU. Al Green went way before they had the stage, and he was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." Okay. Now, what is the similarity that y'all see here? You know what? It's marginalized communities, primarily black. AOC is Hispanic, and I think Maxwell Frost might be mixed. The other ones, I'm not 100% certain. But we're going to say the majority is black or Hispanic, and that's who it is with Bernie, his old ass, right? Because we got Schumer, petitions in my link tree for that too, you know, to get us to a position that Cory had to say, I got to do this. And so we feel like the other ones are not doing enough, but you see the ones that are doing stuff, like somebody like what Cory did, that he did for us. He yielded the floor to us. This Saturday, April 5th, that's the day, that's the movement, right? He yielded it to us. You listen to the stories, you listen to what he talked about. And let me tell you, it was powerful. He was reading the letters. There were so many different things. Came up with seven three-ring binders up there. And so Patrick's getting excited. He was on and then he was on Rachel Maddow last night at 9:00. So I'm hoping, if you get this, Cory, I'm hoping that after that you went and got you something to eat. And I hope at this moment you're still sleeping, okay? And so one of the interesting things, now this is what it took. When we talk about fighting for us, right? People that vote them in. He's from Jersey, I'm in Florida, and it doesn't matter because he's there and he did it, right? So he started fasting. He stopped eating on Friday, right? Because they can't go to the bathroom. They can't do none of this stuff. And a lot of people maybe didn't know what a filibuster was or exactly what was going on. So a lot of people learned new things. Hell, even I learned new things. I didn't know they couldn't go to the bathroom. And so everybody's like, how did this happen? He stopped eating on Friday, okay? Which is basically fasting, right? That's what we call it, fasting. And then he didn't drink anything. He basically started to dehydrate himself a few days beforehand as well. And then he didn't drink anything the night before, which would have been Sunday nights, because he started Monday at 7 p.m. and he finished Tuesday at 8:10 p.m., I want to say, give or take. And so that you know, this man fasted, dehydrated himself to make sure that he could stand up there and do what him and his people had planned on with them 7 3-ring binders, okay? That is what they are doing for us. That's what he did for us. So believe me when I tell you, when he yielded the floor, he yielded it to us. He's passing the baton over and saying, I did this, we worked on this, the group he worked with, and this is what we're gonna do. And he did whatever he needed to do to make sure that he can be up there, not just beat the racist time from almost 100 years ago, but to be there for us, right? To give that just tiny bit of hope, to say, you know, we were definitely losing some faith there, okay? And I'm in Florida, so we had the special election and it did not go in our favor, okay? But in the meantime, I was still watching him. All right, so if you didn't watch it, there's clips and stuff and quotes and all that stuff online. I encourage you to go see it, because it will start giving you that glimmer. And there's a lot of people who are going to protest for the first time in their lives. There's a lot of people, and we'll talk more about other things that you can do in some upcoming videos. I'm doing some Q&As, comment responses. And so when we think about that, understand what he had to do to be able to do what he did, and that the floor is now yielded to us. We have the baton. It's time for us to show up. This Saturday, April 5th, it's time for you to show up, and in so many different ways. All right, so don't forget, go to my link tree. There's petitions and info. I need you to know that you are not alone. We are in it together, and I love you.